There are places that change you quietly. They soften the sharp edges, and they help you rediscover yourself. Scotland did that for me. It softened me, it healed me, and even though I had to leave, this wasn't goodbye. It was just a pause, a deep breath before I could return home.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This video has been a long time coming. I've been getting a lot of questions about why I actually left Scotland, and I just wanted to come make a whole video about it and explain that it absolutely was not by choice, and I wasn't like forced or kicked out of the country or anything, but there's lore to it. So thank you guys for coming back to the channel. If you are coming back from one of my other videos, I've been getting a lot of support, a lot of great comments, and just a lot of love. And it's mainly my Scotland people, so thank you so much, and my UK people as well. So thank you guys so much. I really cannot stress how much I appreciate all the support. It's been crazy, it's been really rough, so I just kind of wanted to come on and just clear the air and finally make a full video, like the title says, about why I had to leave Scotland. So here we are, let's jump into it. Okay, so a bit of disclaimer. I do, this video, this is my second time trying to make this video because it's just a deeply personal and it's a really stressful topic because I'm coming on here being quite vulnerable, and my content usually isn't like that. My content's usually just travel and lifestyle and fashion and modeling, or whatever you want to say. But today this video is a little bit different because I'm opening up about my struggle when I was in Scotland, and it had nothing to do with the country. Everybody knows like how much I absolutely love Scotland. I think that it is the greatest country in the world, honestly, and if I could retire there, I absolutely will. It's such a healing place for me, but I just needed to kind of regroup, and I'll get more into that now. But let's see. Life is just complicated, and I think that one of the best things and the most loving things that I could have done for myself was the choice that I had to make to withdraw from my university in Scotland. I was just really struggling and having a hard time, and I wasn't understanding why it was such a difficult thing for me. I mean, I've been to school in New York City. I went to school. I actually lived in Texas for a long time too. I went to college out there as well. So, I'm able to deliver the academics part, but I was just really struggling a lot with readjusting to a system that didn't really support the way that my brain works and the way that I process things. And it really opened, my hands are shaking, it really opened me up to a lot of questions about myself and wondering if I could possibly be neurodivergent. And if you don't know what that is, it's just a person, it's the way that your brain is wired. There's neurotypicals, which are a great percentage of most people, and then there's us neurodivergents. And yeah, I started really just struggling a lot. I was having a lot of meltdowns and just really stressed, and I just couldn't take the stress of the school and all of that stuff that I was having to learn and adjust to. So I had to just kind of regroup and see what was going on with me. But yeah, I was really burnt out and overstimulated, and like I said, struggling just to process and get on with basic things. And my poor boyfriend, he has helped me through all of this. He has been such a trooper, one of the most supportive, loving men that I know, and I'm just so happy to have him and have him helping me through this. But yeah, I want to say that it was just a major accomplishment to come to the UK and to study and to get the visa and be accepted into like my dream school.
This is literally the best day ever. I'm so excited. I got such good news.
Queen Margaret is an absolutely amazing school, by the way, so it was nothing to do with them, but it was just me. Yeah, it was a major accomplishment. I had literally tweeted or put on social media before in 2013 or so. I was like, I want to model in the UK. I want to go live in the UK. I want to study in the UK. And I got this opportunity to do it years later. And you guys can imagine how devastating it was when I basically my body and my mind were betraying me after I, accomplished this goal, and I wasn't able to just, stay on and get on and do it. It's really difficult to talk about. But yeah, I had manifested this goal essentially of being able to come over and study in the UK and live in the UK. I got the degree I got the visa for 4 years, and I was really struggling because I felt like I kind of bombed out. But then I realized I have family members who are neurodivergent as well. So I started recognizing like some of the symptoms, the burnout, the not being able to, manage throughout the day. And it's so weird to me because I'm a person who ties my worth, I guess, to achievement. And I have studied in New York City, but it was an online program. It was self-paced. I could do the work when I wanted to. I could, I didn't have to be on a schedule every day. I just would do the deliverables, as you could say, when I needed them done. And that's how I live my life in everything, with my modeling career, everything. I've always just kind of done things when I could, or when I had the energy, or when I could deliver and be my best self. Even this video, I've made it twice already. So yeah, bear with me if there are any cuts or editing, or if I get emotional, please just bear with me, because this is very difficult. But yeah, I've always been the type of person who could just kind of power through it as long as I'm able to kind of manage it and control it and make it under, how I need things to be. And I didn't realize that that was possibly neurodivergency. So yeah, I was just doing my best to cope, in private with everything that I was going through. No one saw like the meltdowns and the overstimulation, and just, how difficult it was for me to just, like I said, just process everything that was going on, all the changes in the school system and everything like that. And it's hard to explain it if you aren't neurodivergent, or if you don't know someone who is. I probably present well on the surface, and I'm a normal person, but my brain is wired differently from others. And there's a lot of stigma that comes with being neurodivergent. So if you, want to learn more about it, please do the research. Don't just, take what the media says and run with it. Do your own research as well, because you've probably run across a person who's neurodivergent. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, I was having the overstimulation and the meltdowns, and my body was shutting down as well too, and I wasn't able to go to class like I needed to. And that's always been an issue as well, attendance. I'm doing well academically. I'm actually gonna go back to my New York school. But I do well academically, but when it comes to attendance and just being present, I don't do well with that kind of stuff. Like I said, because it's just a lot of stress for me to have to show up at a certain time, or have to be there at a certain time. And like I said, you really won't get it. It might sound like I'm being, like a diva or something like that, but it has absolutely nothing to do with that. I literally have to like work myself up to do things sometimes. So yeah. And my partner, like I said, he's been so supportive and so protective through all of this, and I cannot ask for a better partner through all of this. But yeah, so I was going through that, and I started to get some notices from my university that, I needed to fix my attendance and do better about that. And they gave me a lot of room. They were very supportive once they found out what was going on. And I just started looking at what options I had going forward. So I took some time off, and I made the decision, that I was going to withdraw. And mind you, if I had been able to just take a little bit of time off in Scotland, do the healing there, and then, maybe regroup, I really don't know. I think that I need a different program, honestly, when I study. But if I'd been able to take the time off there, then I would have stayed. But that's not exactly the way the rules work with the UK government. So I decided to withdraw, which was the most difficult decision. I literally felt like a failure, like a loser after I decided that. I hid from everybody like for weeks after I decided that, because I was just like, I can't believe my body's betraying me, and I'm failing at the one thing that I wanted for like almost a whole year. I had been manifesting and planning this trip. So yeah, sorry, there's some noise outside. I'm here in Manhattan and this has been a ride as well, but I'll get into that later. Yeah, so I had to come back basically because once you decide to withdraw, you curtail your visa, and the sponsor, which would be my university, lets the UK government know that you're no longer attending, and then you have to leave the country by a certain time. So that is where I am right now. I had to leave, and I've already booked my trip back, which is fine. I can come back anytime. And yeah, I'm just gonna come back in a different situation. I still have my home with my boyfriend, my partner. We still have our home. And yeah, I have all my stuff over there. My life is in Scotland, and I'm just going to do it differently this time. I'm going to, of course, finish what I was doing as far as school and writing my book and everything like that. And of course, doing YouTube and filling you guys in on the beauty of Scotland, because God knows everybody needs to know about that. And I'm very lucky to be able to experience it. But we're just gonna do it a different way. We're gonna go a different visa route. And it does suck because I love to study, I love learning, and I spent all the money on the, you know, insurance or whatever, the insurance fees. I spent all the money on that. I spent tuition money, but you know, it's fine. As long as my health is intact, then I'll come back a better person. So essentially that's what I'm doing right now here in Manhattan. I am working with my healthcare providers to get an official diagnosis. I don't have one yet. And you know, I'm working with them to just see what's going on with myself and my brain, and how I can best support myself and be in a better position when I go back to Scotland. I won't have all the pressure of, you know, the government on my case about showing up to school, and it's a better thing for me, and I can support myself in other ways. So that's why I'm so happy that you guys are tuned in and the channel is growing. I really appreciate all the support because it's much needed. So. And a lot of YouTubers don't come on here and they're not vulnerable and they're not honest and they have this facade of a life, but it's not like that with me, and it's not gonna be like that on the channel. I can only be me and be real. And sometimes that's difficult and it's not entertaining. So that's the long story short. That is why I essentially had to leave Scotland and why I was forced to come back to New York City and forced to come back to the USA. And like I said, the good thing is that I am coming back to Scotland. I'll be back in a couple of months, and the tickets are already booked. As you guys know, we have our house there, we have our home. I will be fine, you know, I'll be in a different position and I won't have all that pressure on me. So yeah, look forward to more Scotland content coming, because it is. And my next video, it's actually gonna be like a New York Scotland hybrid, because I kind of just want, there's a lot going on here, a lot of chaos and a lot of madness, and why hide it? I want to share with you guys, you know, every step that I'm on in this journey of returning to Scotland and returning home. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. That's what my next video is going to be about. It's going to be about life in New York compared to my peaceful, loving, healing life in Scotland. So thank you guys for watching. What else do I want to say? Yeah, I just want to, like I said, neurodivergency gets a really bad rap, and if I can be the person who represents neurodivergence out there, then I will gladly do that. If you guys want to get in the comments and talk about it, or if you have any more questions about it, then leave them in the comments. Just as long as it's a respectful conversation, then we can, you know, we can have that. And if you've ever had to leave a place that you absolutely love, that feels like home, let's talk about that in the comments too, because I am counting the days that I'm gonna get back to Scotland. And that's another thing as well. And I think that I'm going to do like an interactive countdown on the channel, so that you guys can just kind of be there with me through, you know, every day through every week of going, you know, getting ready to return and, you know, return back to my life, because I miss it so much. I have no business being in New York City right now, and it has been chaos. But you guys will see that in the next video. So thank you for watching. Yeah, I could literally ramble all day. The last thing I want to say before I cut the cameras is that we are almost at 1,000 subscribers. So by the time I drop this video, we will probably be at 1,000 subscribers. And you guys, like, I could cry. I'm just so happy at all the support. And it's mostly my Scotland people. So thank you guys so much. I'll be making a video on that as well too. So thank you so much if you made it this far. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, follow me on Instagram, let's be friends, on the socials, all of that stuff. So whatever all the YouTubers say. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.